Hi, friends. Welcome to our real estate show where it's like Property Brothers meets The Daily Show meets Lonely Planet. Today, we're in the studio speculating on who has money to buy houses these days. I'm also going to show you a little project house, and then I'll take you on a field trip to look at some fall foliage because it's pretty.
How do you feel in our new studio?
I really like it. How do you like it?
I think I like it.
I think, it usually takes us 2 hours to go out and film this and get a cup of coffee. And the past 2 weeks, we just haven't had 2 hours uninterrupted together.
I mean, don't worry. If you're watching on YouTube, we're still going to show you lots of great Seattle sites, but we didn't want it to slow down giving market updates and real-time Seattle real estate insights.
Yes. I wanted to show you guys a little BTS here. Look, this is our new couch that we just got. We've got some lights set up, a little backdrop. I've got my computer and microphones right here.
Is this worth $500?
Oh, that seems nice.
Do we have segments still?
Yeah, we're going to start with some housing news.
Okay.
Which there's actually quite a bit to go. You just found a kind of fun article about Shoreline, our hometown.
Oh, yeah. This came into my inbox this morning from the city of Shoreline. Apparently, Shoreline ranked very high on best places to live for families and retirees. This was a ranking done by Fortune. They surveyed 2,000 cities with a population of over 20,000 throughout the country. Shoreline came in number 21 as
That's pretty high.
Yeah, best place to live for families, and number 6 in best places to retire. So they were looking at places that have access to great schools, highly recommended hospitals, affordable housing. You see if you guys will agree with the affordable housing, resources for older adults, and a strong sense of community. I don't know. We've lived here for, how long have we lived in Shoreline? Only
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Half.
However old Sealy is, that's how long we've lived here. 3 years. How do you feel? Do you feel like it's a solid place to live for families in multi-generational living?
Yeah, I think so. I like Shoreline because it's close to Seattle. We're just a couple blocks from Seattle, actually. So we get all of the amenities that a big city gives, but it's got a much more small town neighborhood vibe going for it.
Well, I wonder if we made the list this year because of the addition of the light rail.
Oh, possibly.
There's two light rail stations here in Shoreline that take you all the way to the airport, downtown, stadiums for sporting events and concerts. But I think we had another piece of news. North Seattle suburbs here. You mentioned something about Mount Lake Terrace.
Yes, this is kind of related to housing stats.
So Mount Lake Terrace is the city just north of Shoreline.
Mm-hmm. And it just hit the news in the last week or so because it's the fastest selling housing in the nation right now.
Fastest. So that means that houses in Shoreline are sitting on the market for the least amount of time?
Yes, fewest number of days on market.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that it's the fastest in the whole nation, but I knew that Mount Lake Terrace was moving fast because we keep an eye on these things in general, but we have personally been on an investment property search, and a lot of homes in Mount Lake Terrace sort of fit what we were looking for. So they would come up, we'd get a notification about them, and I would see them go pending.
And they're just
quickly.
gone.
They would go before the review date.
I think part of it is it's a combination of just lack of inventory. Mount Lake Terrace has not seen very many homes for sale over the past couple of years. I've seen a number of stats about this where there's just 1 or 2 listings a month in different neighborhoods. I wonder how they're coming up with this data because the article I read said that homes were on the market for 21 days.
That's a long time.
I know, that's a long time in my Seattle real estate perspective. And the houses that I'm looking at in Mount Lake Terrace are sitting for 3 or 4 days. So I question how they're coming up with this data. They're probably including new construction in this and condos too. But I thought it was interesting, and another place where Seattle's hit the national news circuit. So I saw another interesting article. Just more people. I don't want to be more people complaining about the cost of housing, but kind of. There's these articles coming out all the time about this, probably because they get a lot of clicks. But specifically, this was about middle class homeowners being increasingly squeezed by the cost of housing. And I sympathize with this. I think housing's very expensive, but we've been on this investment property hunt, and we just got something under contract actually, and I'm going to show you that house in a little bit. But I think it's also people just need to change their expectations about housing in general.
If you're going to be outraged about something, it should be like egg prices at the grocery store. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because housing is expensive, and but there are ways to be able to afford it. I work with a lot of people that are, they work for tech companies. They have good jobs. They're able to afford nice housing. But also, I've worked with people that, dream of finding a house and think that it's impossible. But through some clever planning and strategies and different programs that are out there, we're able to find a nice home.
Well, your housing is your number one biggest expense. And for a lot of people, transportation is probably number two. So if you can hack those two items, especially housing, that's going to really reshape your budget. And I think there's a ton of ways to do that. We've talked a lot about house hacking in the past.
We have done it in the past.
We have done house hacking, meaning renting out a portion of your house to somebody else to help cover your expenses.
Or just getting roommates.
Or being creative with the type of home that you're purchasing. Maybe it's a fixer-upper. So there are definitely ways to do it. I do sympathize with, it's a rising cost all throughout the country, not just Seattle, but we're really feeling it here. Especially.
Yeah, the average home these days, to get into a couple stats, is sitting at about $950 right now
for Seattle.
And that's a very expensive house.
That's probably like a 3-bedroom mid-century-ish house.
Yeah, that needs some
house.
work. Also, new construction. There's a lot of new construction going up, townhouses and these little condoization dadu projects.
Yep, we're under contract with some buyers right now for one of those condoized homes. So it's like 3 homes on one property.
Which, funny enough, we're under contract for like $975-ish, right at that median house point. And it's a beautiful house.
How big? It is a beautiful house, actually. It's really pretty. How big is that? 1,600 square feet?
Yeah, approximately.
Just to give you listeners an idea, which, it sounds like a lot, but this is a brand new home. Really is beautiful.
We've kind of seen this $950 median home price sitting for a number of months now. I think since about May, since the springtime. And it's been fairly level, which is pretty interesting because right now we're in the fall and you'd usually see home prices start to come down at this point. Inventory sitting for a little bit longer.
Well, I think it's like home prices would normally start to come down, but interest rates have also come down a little bit. So that's probably, when interest rates come down, that forces home prices up. So probably what's happened is it's just stayed even.
Yeah, which is kind of what I speculated on a couple months ago. I was thinking that maybe this news that the Fed was lowering rates would counteract the typical seasonal drop, and it does.
You were right.
I was right. It seems like we're seeing that, and we'll see how long it lasts. And I'm seeing houses sell pretty fast still. I've been getting a lot of IRL comments in real life from.
What does that mean? You mean like people talking to you?
Yes, that's what I mean. People just asking, like, with this seasonal slowdown in real estate, we just must have a lot of time on our hands. But the fact that we aren't really seeing that slowdown, and just that being self-employed is so unpredictable, we've been really busy the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, which we're really grateful for. We, anyone who's self-employed likes being busy. But yeah, I mean, we've lots of buyers and sellers. It's kind of an even spread. We're working with a lot of clients right now, and we're just us. Like, some people have a team, but I'm glad that there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
So we have a condo that we've had on the market in Capitol Hill. It's taken a little while to sell. Part of the reason is last we checked the data. What was it?
This was crazy. There were 70 1-bedroom condos for sale in Capitol Hill.
And then we were trying to sell a 1-bedroom condo.
Yeah, so competition was fierce.
Yeah.
It's under contract now, though.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're happy for our client. But yeah, 70 1-bedroom condos in Capitol Hill. It's not a big neighborhood. 2-bedroom condos definitely are in higher demand.
Mhm.
So the one bedroom situation made it a little difficult. It's in a very nice building
Yeah.
with a live-in building manager, which is a really nice amenity.
I think it's super interesting just looking at, I did a lot of data research on condos. You get 2 bedrooms in a condo and like the price almost doubles pretty much. We have like 7 clients that we're working with right now. It's been a lot to keep up with.
A lot of condo action, actually. We have another buyer who just got settled in Shoreline, one of the best places, number 6 best place to retire, as I mentioned earlier.
But she is retired. That's perfect for her.
Right close to Richmond Beach Park. This is the first time I had seen, she moved her belongings with a pod. And I'm kind of late on the game on this. Y'all have probably used pods before, but it's quite the operation. It was really cool to watch him unload the pod into the parking lot and the mechanics of it. It was quite the feat. But it sounds like it was a lot cheaper than getting a moving truck to move your stuff. When you're moving cross country, I mean, you really don't have much control of those big moving trucks when it's coming across country. I know, like, they can't even tell you necessarily what day your stuff is going to arrive. So the pod was a lot more of a sure thing and cheaper.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see my first pod. Okay, so maybe our last little section in this podcast, we could talk a little bit about the investment property that we just got under contract.
Yes, very exciting.
I think we'll talk more in detail about this in a separate video. What I wanted to ask was, how are your emotions?
Oh,
because it's good for us to go through the home buying and selling, as realtors, and just kind of remember that, what it's like for our clients. So I was wondering if you're feeling emotional.
Not really. We're closing next week and I'm feeling very detached. Like, it's not real yet. I think as soon as we do like a final walkthrough, I'll be like, oh my gosh, we're about to buy this house. I'm
feeling pretty detached too. So I think we perhaps are not feeling what many of our clients feel. And I'm wondering if our we've been really chill about this. I don't feel stressed. Part of it is because I know the numbers. And we've done this so many times with other people. But it's a little bit weird. I think it's this will be our second investment property. I felt pretty chill about the last one we did, but not like this. And I think maybe it's partially just because life is busier now.
Yeah.
Like, our kid is distracting us. I just don't have time to sit there and fret about it. But I'm sleeping pretty well. Even just little things, like I am a little bit stressed about the wire transfer that I'm about to make, and being like, oh yeah, our client. I shouldn't like this is stressful for our clients. So those have been good reminders. Overall, I am feeling pretty patting ourselves on the back for just we know what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling. So it's a beautiful day in the suburbs of Seattle. We are currently under contract on this little house, 1,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, $530,000. We're doing an inspection right now, and so far there's nothing terrible that has come up. I'm here with my favorite inspector, James. He's getting on the roof in order to do a sewer scope so that we can check out how it looks and if there's going to be any big problems there. All of the flooring needs to be done. The kitchen needs to be replaced. The bathroom does not work. There's a fuse box instead of an electrical panel. This is a pretty cute house though. I'm liking it so far. I'll just show you around a little bit. The biggest downside is that there's a alleyway right on the side, and 20 years ago, they built some houses in the backyard. But, it's a nice size, 1,000 square feet, decent layout. We've got a little kitchen here that we can renovate and add a lot more space. Here's a laundry room. There's the hookups that need to be redone. A little mud room right here, kind of cute. Look at this sunlight. I do like that. We've got a big southern exposure. Bedroom here, bathroom here, and another bedroom. And then there's a bonus space upstairs for a 3rd bedroom. And I saw this and thought, oh, this space over here can remain a bedroom. And then over here we can add a 2nd bathroom so that it's a, nice 3-bed, 2-bath house. Okay, so Kendall and I talked through this. Thought it would be interesting to talk about the strategy of a inspection contingency and what we ended up submitting. First, let me get this list of itemized repairs that need to be done. Biggest thing is the siding is an asbestos siding. We didn't get an official test, but can look at it, our inspector looked at it and make a pretty good guess that it is asbestos. It's gonna be about $10,000 to $12,000 to remove that. I would just leave it because sometimes that's the best thing to do with asbestos is just make sure it's in good condition or cover it up. But this one has a lot of breaks in it and we're getting water damage into the walls, so it needs to be taken off and redone. The house needs a little bit of drainage work. There's some settling happening and we just need to get water away from the house so that we don't have any future foundation problems. And then of course there's just like fixing it up. Kitchen, electrical, everything. We're estimating about $100,000. I'm gonna try and bring that down by doing some of the work myself, but not counting on having the time to do that. So we'll just say $100,000 renovation. Now we have a HELOC against our house that we can fall back on to do some of that renovation. It would just be nice to have a little bit of a buffer there. So what we're asking the sellers to do is to cover some of our closing costs. We said up to $15,000, and that creates that buffer and that like safety zone. Now it's hard to get under contract and then just throw another bill at the seller. If you do it wrong, then it looks like you've made an offer in bad faith. It pisses them off and they just say no to everything. And we want, ideally we want them to just say yes. Let's move forward. But if they don't want to do that, then we want to entice them to submit a counter to that and meet somewhere in the middle. So, I'm trying to justify this ask by saying we didn't know about the drainage problems and we didn't know about the expense of the asbestos abatement, which is all very true. So, we're justifying this ask and hopefully they're gonna say yes. We sent it all out and just waiting to hear back now. But I'm leaving on a camping trip tomorrow. Here's everything I'm bringing: an REI 2-person tent to share with a friend, Kelty 20-degree sleeping bag, Thermarest sleeping pad, nesting cook kit, headlamp, spork, multi-tool, toilet paper and shovel, rope and a food bag, spare clothes, water bladder, and another friend is bringing a filter, hiking poles, and I can't resist and I'm packing 2 cameras, the ZV-1 and Osmo Pocket 3. I've wanted to see the larches for a while now, but always seem to get sidetracked. If you're unfamiliar, these are the only conifers to change color and then lose their needles, and I've heard that they're very pretty, and that's reason enough for me to convince a few friends to go backpacking with me for a 26-mile round-trip hike that we only had to drive like 2 hours to get to.
Loch Eileen, Lake Julius, or Lake Donald.
Nobody double-checked my work, though, and we stumbled upon a very pretty but poorly maintained trail through burned paths, downed trees, and lots of overgrown bushes. The first night we crashed in the forest just about an hour before the sun went down, so we cooked dinner in complete darkness. Good morning. I slept only kind of well. I kept getting too hot, too cold. I have a 20-degree sleeping bag and got down to like 35. So I would stick my arms out to cool off. Then they were too cold, stick them back in, wake up too hot, enjoyed a cup of coffee. And we're gonna head off to the Alpine Lake, Larch Lake, and try and see some trees. Very tired. We came from straight down there, steep and lots of bushwhacking. Day 2 has been very long already. 2 miles took a few hours, so we stopped for lunch and then shortly after found our first larch. A little lackluster, but then finally at about half a mile from our destination, they were just everywhere. I was a little worried that after all of this hard work that it might not be worth it, but it's absolutely stunning here. It's kind of like a magical medieval setting going on here with these like massive rocks, and the trees are incredible. Not only the trees, pretty much just everything out here is changing colors. So there's a lot of reds, greens, the yellows. It's just stunning here. I was very cold last night, colder than the night before, and didn't sleep very well. I'm ready to just drink a cup of coffee and start the 12 miles back. Everything's pretty frosty. But look at the hills here. It's incredibly beautiful. I'm trying to get a time lapse. I have a camera set up over here on a rock. We'll see if it works, because we might not stick around long enough to get anything. But I mean, look at that. It's stunning. Yay! Here's the top, here's lunch at the middle, and loading up the car at the bottom. I'm kind of liking this format of housing news and home projects and field trips, but what do you think? Leave a comment down below. By the way, we did get our closing costs paid for on the little house, so stay tuned and subscribe for more 1940s house projects coming up. And if you're looking to make a home in Seattle, send me a message. Let's work together. Bye.